Well, how about them Cowboys? Woo, man. That was a great finish. Man, that our first a lot of the for the first few quarters, our offense was just pitiful. Our offense was pitiful the first three quarters and part of the fourth quarter, but and we let Philadelphia back in the game with the giving them short fields off off of a Prescott interception and then a turnover. Their sack fumble. And man, we got very lucky that we're lucky to. But you know what? At the end of the day, what matters is you're in the win column. Our guys just that our deep. We had so many penalties, and that's got to get fixed. These penalties have to get cleaned up over the next few weeks because it's going to be murderous row over the next few weeks. But man, we needed this win. It is huge to have this win. We're 1-0 in December, and the first part of the game was very nerve-wracking when on the opening kickoff, Jordan Lewis returned it and then he fumbled it, and the officials said there was no clear recovery by the Eagles, but that was I think it was pretty clear that there was a recovery, but I'll take it. That ruling definitely, we almost gave them a short field right there. And I said that the only way our offense would struggle would be if we shot ourselves in the foot with penalties. And they proved that. They proved it. And I got that right. But we're still kicking too many field goals. That's just... We had great drives that stalled and ended in only 3 points 3 times. But man, in that fourth quarter, when the Eagles tied the game at 9 apiece, Dallas it was like they felt like they had to score because like it became apparent to them that they weren't going to be able to just rely on the defense to hold Philadelphia down and not do anything on offense. Amari Cooper had 2 big catches for touchdowns, including one after the Eagles after the Eagles tied the game at 16, went right down the field and got another one. But then after the Eagles tied it with about 2 or 3 minutes left, and when we were getting close to midfield, and then I was like, come on guys, whatever you do, do not turn this ball over. Prescott fumbled the snap, but he got back on it, and I was like, please, don't make a Romo-esque mistake and throw a pick six or get stripped for a fumble. And he got he threw quite a few bad passes, and it caught up to him. He finally threw his first 2 interceptions since the Tennessee debacle, and but man, I'll take luck. I'll take luck over overplaying good any day, but they gotta get better. Our offense needs to execute better. That when we took the ball in overtime, our offense did not mess around. They played like they started to act. They started to look more like the offense that we wanted to see all game. And our offense didn't have many good drives in regulation. But man, when overtime came around, those guys did not commit any holding or false starts in overtime. They kept their cool, and Dak kept his cool too. And we ran right down their throats with Zeke in overtime. And also, when we got to that 4th and 1, I was like, come on, Dallas. Remember Houston, when you chose not to go for it? I was like, surely you gotta learn something from that. And we went for it, and Zeke got it to give our offense some life. And then after that, it was just a matter of time. When we got to 3rd down and 8, I was like, we got to do something. We got to get a first down, or we got to get something going. And off the deflection from God, Amari Cooper caught it and took it into the end zone for 6. I mean, that was pure luck, but I'll take it. We didn't play well throughout the game. But in overtime, I think the overtime was when our best drive was. That was our best drive of the game, was in overtime. When they played smart and they didn't shoot themselves in the foot when the game, on the drive that mattered the most, they executed. Well, and Cooper, he got lucky, but he also executed on luck. This is definitely a big win for Dallas. They have a 2-game lead over Philadelphia. And they have tiebreaker because we swept them. But the Cowboys are not out of the woods just yet. But the NFC East division, we are only one victory away from winning it. And it's starting to get more into focus. We're going to have a tough one at Indy next week. We can't get satisfied with this win because we still have so much more to play for. And if we win Sunday, I think we should play our starters in the final 2 weeks, because I'd rather win, but I don't want our guys to get hurt. We'll have to see what they do if the Cowboys go into Indianapolis next Sunday and win. It's going to be a huge one for Dallas. They're so close to locking up that division title after we started 3-5, and they haven't lost since. It was like ever since Amari Cooper came, at least for the moment, it saved our season. And the getting rid of our offensive line coach, if that hadn't happened and if Amari Cooper hadn't came along, this team would be running into the ground, but it feels great to beat the Eagles. Got another huge one in Indy, but we're going to enjoy this one. How about them Cowboys? Woo! Feel it. Deal with it, birds.